In the heart of Central Asia, where the mountains pierce the sky and the air thins with every breath, a silent drama unfolds each day. The snow leopard, shrouded in mystery, moves with spectral grace across the jagged ridges and icy slopes. Its thick, smoky fur blends seamlessly with the granite and snow, rendering it nearly invisible to all but the most attentive eyes. Every movement is calculated, every step a testament to its mastery of this unforgiving environment. The terrain is treacherous. Sheer cliffs, shifting scree, and deep snowdrifts form a labyrinth that only the most agile can navigate. Acute senses allow the snow leopard to detect the faintest rustle of prey or the distant call of a rival. Its survival depends on patience and precision, stalking wild sheep and goats that traverse the same perilous heights. Each paw print left behind is a fleeting signature, soon erased by the wind or fresh snowfall. In the biting cold, the snow leopard finds shelter in rocky alcoves, conserving energy and warmth as the sun dips behind the peaks. Its dense coat, a marvel of evolution, insulates against the relentless chill and camouflages against the shifting light. From lofty perches, the snow leopard surveys its domain, ever watchful, ever ready to seize opportunity. Gravity is an ally, not an adversary, as it descends near vertical faces with astonishing control. Life here is sustained by the purest meltwater trickling through ancient valleys carved by glaciers. The next generation learns through play, their instincts honed by the challenges of this formidable landscape. Moments of tranquility are rare and precious, a brief respite before the demands of survival resume. Invisible boundaries are drawn and defended. Each scent mark a message to unseen rivals. Storms sweep through without warning, testing the resilience of every creature that calls these mountains home. The snow leopard's world is one of extremes: beauty and danger, abundance and scarcity, silence and sudden violence. To witness this animal is to glimpse the wild in its purest form, a fleeting vision that vanishes as quickly as it appears. Every journey across these mountains is a test of endurance, skill, and instinct. As darkness falls, the snow leopard becomes a shadow among shadows, its presence felt but rarely seen. In this realm, the snow leopard reigns as both hunter and ghost, a living legend shaped by the mountains themselves. The quest to understand this elusive creature is as endless as the mountains it calls home, a story written in snow and stone, forever unfolding beyond the reach of human eyes. Our mission began not in the pristine wilderness of the mountains, but in the bustling, tense city of Kabul. The moment we landed, the gravity of our location set in. Moving around the city was an exercise in extreme caution. The threat of kidnappings and attacks was a constant, tangible danger that hung in the air. We were confined to a secure compound, a necessary precaution that made our initial preparations incredibly difficult. We couldn't just pop out to a shop for supplies. Every movement had to be planned and secured, a stark reminder that we were operating in a place where human conflict cast a long and dangerous shadow over our conservation goals. The first major setback hit us almost immediately. While checking our equipment, we made a gut-wrenching discovery. Our radio receivers weren't working. These devices were absolutely critical to our mission. They were designed to pick up signals from transmitters on our traps, letting us know the instant an animal was caught. Without them, we would have to check each trap manually, a process that would be slow, inefficient, and would leave any captured animal waiting for far too long. The mission was on the verge of collapsing before we had even seen a mountain. Leaving the compound to find replacements was a huge risk, but we had no choice. The search for a replacement receiver led us into the winding markets of Kabul, and it was there that we came face to face with the very threat we were here to combat. In a small dusty shop, tucked away among other goods, was a snow leopard hide for sale. Seeing that beautiful patterned coat stripped from the animal it belonged to was a sickening blow. It was a stark and brutal reminder of the poaching that drives these cats towards extinction. Boone described the moment as really disturbing, a visceral encounter with the illegal wildlife trade that made our mission feel more urgent than ever. Against all odds, our search eventually paid off. Through a local contact, we managed to find a homemade receiver, a cobbled-together piece of equipment that was our only hope. It wasn't ideal, but it was functional. With this small but crucial victory in hand, we could finally leave the tensions of Kabul behind. We boarded a flight to Kret, a village that serves as the gateway to the Wakhan corridor. As we flew towards the towering peaks of the Hindu Kush, a sense of relief washed over us, but the dangers and delays were far from over. The moment we set foot in the Wakhan corridor, the environment itself became our greatest adversary. The landscape was a labyrinth of jagged ridges and plunging ravines, where loose scree shifted underfoot, and every step risked a sudden fall. The air was thin, biting cold, and each breath felt like inhaling shards of ice. Animal tracks, barely visible in the powdery snow, hinted at the elusive presence of snow leopards. But the same tracks often vanished abruptly, erased by overnight storms, or swept away by fierce mountain winds. Natural obstacles slowed our every move. Avalanches had left debris fields of shattered ice and rock, blocking narrow passes and forcing us to detour for hours. Boulder fields, slick with hidden ice, threatened twisted ankles and broken bones with every misstep. Rivers, frozen on the surface, concealed rushing water beneath. Crossing them was a gamble, one wrong step, and the ice could give way, plunging us into freezing currents. Sudden snowstorms swept in without warning, transforming the landscape into a blinding whiteout. Trails disappeared and navigation became a desperate struggle against the elements. Steep, icy slopes demanded total concentration. One slip could mean a fall hundreds of feet down a sheer cliff. Even the clues left by snow leopards, scat on a rocky outcrop, a tuft of fur snagged on a thorn bush, were rare and easily missed in the vastness of the terrain. As dusk fell, temperatures plummeted. The cold became a danger in itself, numbing fingers and faces, sapping strength, and threatening frostbite with every exposed patch of skin. The wind howled relentlessly, carrying the scent of predators and prey alike. Wolf tracks sometimes crossed those of the snow leopard, a silent reminder that we were not the only hunters in these mountains. Landslides, triggered by melting snow or distant tremors, could sweep away entire sections of trail in seconds, leaving only chaos in their wake. Dense fog sometimes rolled in, muffling sound and swallowing all sense of direction. Animal tracks in the mud would vanish beneath a fresh layer of mist and dew, erasing hours of careful tracking. Occasionally we found claw marks gouged into tree trunks or broken branches where a snow leopard had passed. But these signs were fleeting, quickly reclaimed by the wild. At night, the mountains became even more forbidding. The moon cast long shadows over the ridges, and somewhere out there the snow leopard moved silently, leaving only the faintest trace of its passage. Each dawn brought a new set of challenges, tracks frozen beneath a crust of ice, clues obscured by fresh snowfall, and the relentless uncertainty of what dangers the day would bring. In this unforgiving wilderness, every delay was magnified, every danger amplified by the sheer scale and indifference of nature. The mission to save the snow leopard was not just a battle against poachers, but a daily struggle against the wild itself. The snow leopard's existence is a fragile one, balanced on a knife's edge. Every movement across these rugged slopes is a calculated risk, as the cat navigates a world increasingly shaped by invisible threats. In the high mountains, the presence of poachers is rarely seen directly. Instead, the landscape tells the story. The sudden absence of familiar scents, the silence where prey once gathered, and the wariness in the snow leopard's every step. Poaching leaves subtle but devastating marks. A tuft of fur caught on wire, a faint trail of blood in the snow, or the sudden disappearance of a dominant male from his territory. These are the silent signatures of illegal hunting. The snow leopard's stunning, smoky grey fur, thick and patterned with dark rosettes, is highly prized. The demand for pelts drives a shadowy trade, making every encounter with a human scent a potential threat. Even the bones of these elusive cats are not safe. Scavenged remains, stripped clean and left in hidden gullies, hint at their use in traditional medicines far from these mountains. The snow leopard's acute senses are constantly on alert. The faintest trace of human presence, a footprint, a lingering odor, can cause the cat to abandon a favored hunting ground, fragmenting its already limited range. Traps and snares, often set for other animals, pose a constant hazard. The snow leopard's instinctive caution is its only defense, but even the most vigilant can fall victim to these hidden dangers. Beyond poaching, the snow leopard's world is literally shrinking beneath its paws. The once permanent snowfields are receding, exposing bare rock and altering the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Climate change is warming these high-altitude realms. As the snowline retreats, the landscape transforms, forcing the snow leopard to adapt to new and unfamiliar terrain. The advancing tree line brings new plant species and changes the composition of prey populations, subtly shifting the balance of survival for the snow leopard. As wild sheep and goats are pushed into smaller, isolated pockets, the snow leopard must travel farther and riskier routes to find food, increasing its vulnerability to both natural and human-made dangers. The shrinking habitat means fewer safe refuges. Each exposed crossing or open slope becomes a potential trap, and the stress of constant vigilance takes its toll. Indirect evidence of poaching is everywhere. Prey, carcasses stripped before their time, territories left unclaimed, and the eerie quiet of valleys once alive with animal calls. This cycle of habitat loss, prey depletion, and the ever-present threat of poaching puts immense pressure on the already small snow leopard population. It is estimated that only around 200 of these magnificent cats remain in the entirety of Afghanistan, a shockingly low number that underscores the urgency of conservation. Each snow leopard that vanishes leaves a void in the ecosystem, a silent testament to the mounting threats they face. The survival of future generations depends on the resilience and adaptability of these elusive cats, and on our ability to understand and mitigate the dangers that surround them. By studying their movements, behaviors, and the subtle signs left in their wake, we can begin to unravel the complex web of threats and find hope for their continued existence. The fight to save the snow leopard is not just about numbers. It's about preserving the intricate balance of life in these mountains and ensuring that this ghost of the peaks continues to roam, unseen but ever present, for generations to come. No conservation mission of this scale can succeed without a seamless integration of global expertise and local knowledge, especially when it comes to tracking elusive animals like the snow leopard. Our team relied on a sophisticated blend of traditional tracking skills and cutting-edge technology to monitor the snow leopard's movements across the vast, unforgiving terrain. Local trackers, drawing on generations of experience, could identify the faintest impressions in the snow or a tuft of fur caught on a bush, signs that would be invisible to the untrained eye. These clues were meticulously documented and paired with environmental data collected from remote sensors. Advanced tools like infrared cameras and GPS collars allowed us to track the snow leopard's nocturnal journeys and map their territories with unprecedented accuracy, providing insights that traditional methods alone could not offer. By collecting scat and environmental DNA samples, we could analyze the health, diet, and even the genetic diversity of the snow leopard population, combining laboratory science with field-based observation. Environmental monitoring stations tracked changes in temperature, humidity, and snowfall, helping us understand how shifting climate patterns might affect both the snow leopards and their prey. Local expertise was crucial in interpreting these signs, knowing, for example, whether a set of tracks belonged to a solitary male or a mother with cubs, or if claw marks indicated recent territorial disputes. Drones provided aerial perspectives of the landscape, allowing us to identify potential travel routes and den sites, while data visualization tools helped us synthesize thousands of data points into actionable strategies. The combination of chemical analysis of scent marks and genetic testing of fur samples gave us a deeper understanding of individual animals' territories and relationships within the population. Every piece of information, from a single paw print to a satellite transmission, was vital. By merging the wisdom of local trackers with the precision of modern science, we created a comprehensive picture of the snow leopard's world, one that neither approach could achieve alone. This synergy of global and local expertise was the foundation of our mission, ensuring that every decision was informed by both the ancient rhythms of the mountains and the latest advances in conservation science. In the high passes of the Sarkhan Valley, time is a relentless adversary. Here, the weather is as unpredictable as it is unforgiving. One moment, the sky is a brilliant blue, sunlight glinting off the snowfields. The next, clouds gather with astonishing speed, plunging the landscape into a swirling whiteout. Temperatures can plummet without warning, and fierce winds funnel through the narrow passes, carrying stinging ice crystals that scour the exposed rock. The sun, when it appears, is deceptively warm, but the cold seeps in from every direction, sapping strength and numbing fingers. The terrain itself is a labyrinth of hazards. Jagged boulders and loose scree make every step a calculated risk. Hidden beneath the snow, crevices and unstable ground threaten to swallow the unwary. Avalanches are a constant danger, triggered by the slightest change in temperature or a distant rumble. The mountains are alive with the sound of shifting ice and falling rock, a reminder that this is a place shaped by powerful, unpredictable forces. Animal movements are dictated by these harsh conditions. Snow leopards, elusive and silent, travel under the cover of darkness or in the early dawn, their tracks barely visible in the shifting snow. Prey species like ibex and blue sheep move in tight groups, picking their way across the steepest slopes where predators and humans alike struggle to follow. Smaller creatures, from marmots to mountain birds, emerge only briefly, ever watchful for danger from above and below. Even the air is alive with the calls of ravens and the distant cry of an eagle, echoing across the empty expanse. Weather patterns shift with little warning. Dense fog can descend in minutes, reducing visibility to nothing and turning the landscape into a maze. Meltwater from the midday sun refreezes at dusk, coating rocks in a treacherous layer of ice. As night falls, temperatures plunge even further, and the wind howls through the empty passes. The stars emerge, cold and distant, illuminating the silent world below. In these hours, the snow leopard becomes a ghost, moving with purpose through the labyrinth of rock and ice, guided by instincts honed over millennia. Every sign it leaves behind, a scrape, a scent mark, a single paw print, is a fleeting clue in a vast, indifferent wilderness. The race against time is not just against the ticking clock, but against the elements themselves. Tracks are erased by wind and fresh snow, clues vanish beneath shifting drifts, and storms can trap even the most prepared in place for days. Each dawn brings a new beginning, but also a reminder of the relentless pace of nature. In the high passes, every moment is precious, every sign ephemeral, and the odds of success are dictated as much by the mountain's moods as by human determination. In the world of wildlife tracking, patience is everything. The mountains hold their secrets close, and every sound, every shift in the wind can mean the difference between success and failure. The air was thin and sharp, carrying the scent of frost and stone. As the sun crept over the jagged ridges, shadows stretched across the valley, and the world seemed to hold its breath. Just 6 hours after the snare was set, the silence fractured. The radio receiver, battered and humming with static, suddenly erupted with a staccato burst of beeps. The signal was urgent, insistent, a wild heartbeat echoing through the cold night. Out in the darkness, the snare had sprung. The mechanism snapped shut with a muted click, barely audible over the whisper of wind through the scree. In the blackness, something powerful and wild was caught, its breathing quick and shallow, muscles tensed in alarm. The snow leopard's paw, thickly furred and dusted with frost, flexed against the restraint. Its tail lashed the ground, sending up a faint cloud of powdery snow. The animal's ears flattened, swiveling to catch every distant sound, an instinctive scan for danger. Two eyes glowed in the darkness, reflecting the faintest glimmer of a starlight. The pupils widened, drinking in every detail of the night. Whiskers quivered, catching the subtle tremors of the mountain air. The snow leopard's breathing grew rapid, nostrils flaring as it scented the unfamiliar metal and human traces on the snare. Its body coiled, muscles rippling beneath the thick winter coat, testing the limits of the trap with a sudden explosive jerk. The snare held firm, and the cat froze, every sense on high alert. The tranquilizer dart struck with a soft thud, barely disturbing the hush of the night. The leopard's muscles tensed, then shuddered. For a moment it stood perfectly still, eyes wide and unblinking, before its legs began to tremble. The sedative crept through its bloodstream. The snow leopard's breathing slowed, each exhale a plume of mist in the frigid air. Its head drooped, eyelids heavy, and the tension in its body melted away, replaced by a deep, unnatural calm. The mountain silence returned, broken only by the faint rustle of fur against stone and the slow, rhythmic sound of the leopard's breath. The animal's tail curled loosely, its claws retracting as sleep overtook it. In that moment, the wild heart of the mountains lay still. The snow leopard, a phantom of the high peaks, had been captured, not by force, but by the delicate balance of patience, skill, and the silent language of the wild. The instant the snow leopard was safely sedated, a critical window opened for the veterinary team to act. In the harsh, high-altitude environment of Afghanistan's mountains, every second counted for the animal's health and survival. The snow leopard, a young male in peak condition, was examined with utmost care. His dense, luxurious fur and evolutionary adaptation provided insulation against the biting cold, while the intricate rosettes offered perfect camouflage in the rocky terrain. The primary objective was to fit a satellite collar, a lightweight device designed to minimize discomfort and allow for natural movement. This collar would transmit vital data on the leopard's range, behavior, and habitat use, contributing to global conservation efforts. Comprehensive health checks were performed, blood was drawn for hematology and biochemistry analysis, providing insight into the animal's organ function and immune status. DNA samples were collected for genetic studies, crucial for understanding population diversity and resilience. Measurements of weight, length, and body condition were meticulously recorded. The extreme altitude posed unique challenges. Oxygen levels were low, increasing the risk of hypoxemia during anesthesia. The cold, dry air accelerated heat loss, making hypothermia a constant threat for the sedated animal. To counteract the dropping body temperature, natural insulation methods were employed. The snow leopard was carefully covered with thick, locally sourced wool blankets, and dry grass was placed beneath him to reduce contact with the frozen ground. These natural remedies, combined with gentle handling, helped stabilize his core temperature. Throughout the procedure, vital signs were continuously monitored. Portable pulse oximeters tracked oxygen saturation, while thermal scanners ensured the animal's temperature remained within safe limits. The team was prepared with emergency supplies, including warmed saline and glucose solutions, to address any sudden complications. As the anesthetic wore off, the snow leopard's recovery was closely observed. His gradual return to consciousness was marked by slow, deliberate movements, ears twitching, nostrils flaring as he inhaled the crisp mountain air. Once fully alert, the snow leopard instinctively sought higher ground, scaling the rugged cliffs with remarkable agility. The satellite collar, now in place, would provide invaluable data while allowing him to resume his natural behaviors in the wild. This high-stakes medical mission, conducted under challenging environmental conditions, combined advanced veterinary science with practical, nature-based solutions to safeguard the health of one of the world's most elusive big cats. In the silent expanse of the Sarkhan Valley, the presence of a second snow leopard was first betrayed not by sight, but by a subtle shift in the landscape itself. Fresh paw prints, smaller and lighter than those of the first, appeared alongside the older tracks, weaving a new story in the snow. The air carried a sharper tang, faint, musky, and unmistakably feline, clinging to rocks where a new scent mark had been left. Delicate tufts of fur, snagged on thorny bushes, fluttered in the wind, their pale colour nearly indistinguishable from the frost. At dawn the valley echoed with a low, throaty call, a territorial announcement, answered moments later by a distant, softer reply. Two leopards, separated by ridges and ravines, were now aware of each other's presence. The snow itself became a canvas of interaction. Two sets of tracks converged at a narrow pass, circling warily before diverging again, each animal cautious but curious, their paths marked by the occasional scrape or scent post. Near a rocky outcrop, the remains of a blue sheepkill told a tale of recent activity. The bones were picked clean, but the arrangement suggested more than one visitor. Drag marks and overlapping paw prints hinted at a brief, tense encounter, perhaps a silent standoff over territory or food. The second leopard, a younger female, left behind subtle clues of her passage. Her fur was dusted with snowflakes, her tail curled tightly for warmth as she rested in a shallow cave, ears flicking at the distant rumble of an avalanche. Scientific analysis of the fur samples revealed genetic markers distinct from the first leopard, confirming the presence of a new individual in the valley. The discovery was further supported by camera trap footage, a slender silhouette moving cautiously through the moonlit landscape, pausing to sniff the air where the male had passed hours before. The two leopards' territories overlapped only at the edges, but their interactions were written in the landscape, scrapes, scent marks, and the occasional vocalization echoing through the cold air. The female's movements were more erratic, her hunting routes winding between steep cliffs and hidden gullies, while the male patrolled a broader, more established range. New scientific findings emerged from the detailed study of their tracks and behaviors. The female's paw prints showed a slight limp, possibly from an old injury, yet her hunting success was evident in the scattered remains of prey. Analysis of scat samples revealed a diet richer in smaller mammals and birds, suggesting adaptive strategies for survival in the harsh winter months. Environmental clues painted a vivid picture of their world. The snow leopards used the same narrow corridors to move between valleys, timing their patrols to avoid direct confrontation. Their scent marks were often layered, each animal responding to the other's presence with fresh scrapes and markings. A silent dialogue played out over weeks. The discovery of the second leopard transformed scientific understanding of the valley's ecosystem. It revealed a delicate balance of competition and coexistence, with each animal carving out a niche in the rugged terrain. The data suggested that the valley could support more individuals than previously thought, provided that prey remained abundant and human disturbance minimal. As the days passed, the leopards' interactions grew more complex. Camera traps captured fleeting moments, a shared water source at dusk, a cautious approach to a favoured scent post, a brief, tense standoff resolved by a low growl and a retreat into the shadows. These new discoveries, etched in snow, fur and bone, offered a rare glimpse into the secret lives of the snow leopards, deepening scientific knowledge and revealing the intricate web of relationships that sustain these elusive predators in one of the world's most remote mountain landscapes. In the remote, wind-swept mountains of Afghanistan, the snow leopard's future is being written with every silent step it takes across the rugged terrain. These elusive cats, perfectly adapted to the harshest of environments, possess thick, insulating fur and wide, fur-covered paws that act as natural snowshoes, allowing them to traverse icy slopes with remarkable agility. Their long, powerful tails provide balance on precarious cliffs and serve as warm wraps during frigid nights, a testament to their evolutionary mastery of survival in high-altitude ecosystems. The snow leopard's keen senses and solitary nature make it a ghostly presence, rarely seen but always shaping the balance of its environment. As apex predators, snow leopards regulate populations of wild ungulates, such as ibex and markhor, preventing overgrazing and maintaining the delicate equilibrium of alpine meadows and rocky outcrops. Their presence is a vital indicator of ecosystem health, signaling that the intricate web of life in these mountains remains intact. The satellite collars now transmitting from the wild are revolutionizing our understanding of snow leopard behavior, revealing migration corridors, hunting grounds, and seasonal patterns that were once shrouded in mystery. These data-driven insights enable conservationists to identify critical habitats and natural corridors essential for the species' long-term survival, ensuring that protected areas are strategically placed to support genetic diversity and population resilience. Environmental preservation efforts now focus on safeguarding these vital landscapes, promoting the restoration of degraded habitats, and mitigating the encroachment of human activity into fragile alpine zones. Scientific research is guiding adaptive management strategies from monitoring prey populations to assessing the impacts of climate variability on snow cover and vegetation. Yet, the challenges are formidable. The snow leopard's habitat is shrinking as climate change accelerates the retreat of glaciers and alters precipitation patterns, reducing the availability of prey and suitable denning sites. Illegal hunting and poaching, driven by the demand for pelts and bones, continue to threaten the species, while habitat fragmentation isolates populations and increases the risk of inbreeding. As snowlines recede and human settlements expand upward, snow leopards are forced into closer proximity with livestock, heightening the risk of conflict and further endangering their survival. The path forward demands innovative solutions, corridor restoration, anti-poaching technology, and climate adaptation measures tailored to the unique challenges of high-altitude ecosystems. The future of Afghanistan's snow leopards hinges on the preservation of ecological balance, where predator and prey, mountain and meadow, coexist in a dynamic, ever-evolving relationship. Each dawn over the Afghan peaks brings renewed hope that these magnificent cats will continue to adapt, their resilience a beacon for the survival of countless other species sharing their realm. The flame of conservation, ignited in these mountains, must be nurtured with unwavering commitment and scientific rigor. The snow leopard, master of camouflage and adaptation, remains a symbol of nature's enduring mystery and strength. Every transmission from a satellite collar is a testament to survival, a pulse of life echoing across the mountains, reminding us of the intricate connections that sustain these wild places. As guardians of the high peaks, snow leopards embody the spirit of wilderness. Their continued existence is a call to protect the balance of nature, ensuring that Afghanistan's mountains remain a sanctuary for all life that depends on them. As dusk settles over the jagged ridgelines, the mountains of Afghanistan enter a world governed by shadows. In these silent hours, the snow leopard becomes a true phantom, its pale coat blending seamlessly with moonlit rocks and lingering patches of snow. Night is the snow leopard's domain, a time when its keen senses and extraordinary adaptations transform the darkness into an arena of opportunity. With eyes attuned to the faintest glimmer, the snow leopard scans the slopes for movement. Its vision, 6 times more sensitive to light than that of humans, allows it to detect the subtle stirrings of prey, even in near-total darkness. The air is crisp and thin, carrying the scents of ibex, pikas, and wild sheep on the wind. Each inhalation brings a wealth of information: the recent passage of a herd, the nervous rustle of a marmot, or the faint musk of a rival cat. Moving with spectral grace, The snow leopard navigates treacherous cliffs and loose scree, its broad paws muffling sound and distributing weight to prevent sudden slides. Every step is calculated, each muscle tensed for the possibility of a sudden sprint or a silent stalk. The snow leopard's tail, thick and supple, undulates behind it, providing perfect balance as it edges along narrow ledges or leaps across yawning chasms. Hunting under the cover of darkness, the snow leopard relies on patience and precision. It may wait for hours, concealed behind a boulder or nestled in the shadow of a crag, observing a herd of blue sheep grazing below. When the moment comes, the leopard launches into action, exploding from cover with astonishing acceleration, using gravity and the element of surprise to close the distance in seconds. Its powerful hind legs propel it in bounds up to 15 meters, while razor-sharp claws and vice-like jaws complete the ambush. Not every hunt ends in success. A startled ibex may leap to safety, or an avalanche of loose stones may betray the predator's approach. Undeterred, the snow leopard melts back into the night, conserving energy and awaiting the next opportunity. Its ability to endure long stretches without food is a testament to its resilience in an unforgiving environment. The night also brings encounters with other denizens of the mountains. Red foxes and wolves patrol the lower slopes, while golden eagles roost on inaccessible cliffs. The snow leopard's solitary nature keeps conflict to a minimum. Territories are marked with scrapes and scent, and silent encounters are resolved with mutual avoidance. Occasionally, the distant call of another leopard echoes through the valleys, a haunting reminder of the fragile threads that connect these elusive cats across the vast wilderness. In the darkest hours before dawn, the snow leopard rests atop a vantage point, surveying its realm. The night's efforts are etched into the snow, ghostly paw prints tracing the story of survival, adaptation, and mastery of the nocturnal world. Here, in the silence between stars and stone, the snow leopard reigns as an unrivaled shadow of the high peaks, perfectly attuned to the rhythms of the night. Amidst the vast, silent wilderness of the high mountains, the snow leopard communicates in ways as elusive as its presence. With no need for words or calls, it relies on a repertoire of silent signals, chemical, visual, and auditory cues that shape the invisible boundaries of its world. Scent marking is the snow leopard's primary language, a carefully crafted message left on the landscape for others of its kind. Along well-traveled ridgelines and narrow passes, the leopard pauses to scrape the ground with its powerful hind legs, raking earth and snow into small mounds. Over these scrapes, it deposits a spray of pungent urine, rich with unique chemical signatures. This scent lingers for days, carried by the mountain winds to announce the leopard's presence, age, sex, and even reproductive status. These olfactory signals serve as a warning to rivals and an invitation to potential mates, forming a living map of overlapping territories. In addition to urine sprays, the snow leopard rubs its cheeks and chin against exposed rocks, leaving behind the scent of facial glands. This subtle marking is reserved for key locations, outcrops, trail junctions, and the bases of ancient juniper trees. A passing snow leopard will pause at these markers, inhaling deeply, deciphering the stories embedded in each trace. Through this quiet exchange, individuals maintain a delicate balance, avoiding direct conflict while asserting their claim to the land. Vocalizations are rare and reserved for moments when silence no longer suffices. A low, rumbling growl may warn an encroaching rival, while a piercing yowl, echoing down empty valleys, signals the search for a mate during the brief breeding season. Cubs, tucked safely in secluded dens, chirp and mew to summon their mother, their high-pitched calls lost in the wind before any predator can hear. Territory defense is a game of patience and strategy. Rather than direct confrontation, snow leopards rely on the strength of their scent marks and the clarity of their boundaries. When two individuals meet at the edge of their ranges, a silent standoff ensues. Ears flattened, tails lashing, bodies tense but motionless. Often, a subtle shift in posture or a slow retreat is enough to resolve the encounter without violence. Only in the rarest cases do these meetings escalate, resulting in brief, furious clashes before both cats melt back into the solitude of the peaks. Even in their solitude, snow leopards remain connected by this hidden web of signals, a sophisticated system honed by generations of survival in an unforgiving land. With every scrape, every scent, and every silent encounter, the snow leopard sustains the ancient order of the mountains, ensuring that its secrets endure, whispered on the wind, long after the night has passed. As the months unfurl across the high mountains, the world of the snow leopard is transformed. Each season brings its own challenges and opportunities, shaping every aspect of the cat's elusive existence. In winter, the peaks are locked beneath a mantle of snow and ice. Prey becomes scarce, and the snow leopard's range expands as it traverses treacherous slopes in search of blue sheep and ibex. Every footfall is calculated, each movement a balance between conserving precious energy and the relentless need to hunt. The thick, smoky fur and powerful limbs of the snow leopard are its shield against the biting cold, while its pale coat blends seamlessly with the frozen landscape, making it a ghost among shadows. As spring breathes life into the valleys, snowmelt carves new streams and meadows begin to green. Prey species descend from the heights following the first shoots of grass. The snow leopard, too, shifts its patterns, trading the high ridges for lower slopes where the promise of food is greatest. Cubs, born in the secrecy of rocky dens, venture out for the first time, learning to stalk and pounce in a world teeming with scents and sounds. Summer brings abundance, but also new risks. Herds scatter across wide pastures, and the snow leopard must travel greater distances to find a meal. The warmth awakens smaller creatures, marmots and hares, that add variety to its diet. Yet with the retreating snow, the mountains reveal their steepest cliffs and deepest gorges, demanding agility and caution from predator and prey alike. Autumn arrives in a burst of color, and with it a sense of urgency. Prey animals gather in tight groups, wary of the coming cold. The snow leopard intensifies its patrols, reinforcing territory boundaries with fresh scent marks and scanning for the weakest members of the herds. It is a time of preparation, as fat reserves are built, and every successful hunt becomes a vital investment in the lean months ahead. Through each cycle, the snow leopard adapts, its survival a testament to patience, resilience, and the intricate dance between predator, prey, and the ever-changing mountain realm. In the silent drama of the seasons, the snow leopard is both witness and participant, its fate entwined with the rhythms of the wild and the passage of time. High above the world's bustling valleys, the snow leopard reigns as a keystone species, an anchor in the fragile web of life that stretches across the mountains. Its presence shapes the delicate balance of the ecosystem, echoing far beyond each silent paw print. Every hunt, every patrol across rocky ridges sends ripples through the high-altitude wilderness. When the snow leopard stalks a herd of blue sheep or ibex, it does more than secure its next meal. By preying on the old, sick and vulnerable, it keeps these populations healthy and dynamic, ensuring that only the fittest animals thrive to graze the sparse vegetation. This selective pressure prevents overgrazing, allowing tough alpine grasses and rare wildflowers to flourish, which in turn stabilizes the soil and nurtures countless insects and smaller herbivores. But the snow leopard's influence does not end with its prey. Its leftovers, bones and scraps, feed a host of scavengers. Golden eagles, red foxes, and even tiny rodents depend on these remains, weaving the snow leopard into the very fabric of the food chain. When a snow leopard moves on, it leaves behind more than a scent. It opens opportunities for life in unexpected forms. Competition is ever present. Lynx, wolves, and wild dogs share these remote ranges, each carving out their own niche. The snow leopard's mastery of the steepest cliffs and highest ledges gives it an edge. Yet subtle encounters with other predators shape territories and hunting patterns. A single snow leopard's range may overlap with multiple competitors, prompting a silent negotiation for space, prey, and survival. These interactions set off cascading effects. Healthy prey populations mean healthier predators, while the landscape, sculpted by both grazers and hunters, becomes a living mosaic of habitats. In this intricate network, the snow leopard is a silent architect, upholding the diversity and vitality of the mountains. Without the snow leopard, the balance would falter. Prey herds could swell unchecked, stripping slopes bare and unraveling the ecosystem from the ground up. With it, the mountains remain a sanctuary of resilience, where every heartbeat and every rustle in the grass is a testament to the snow leopard's vital role. Here, in this wild theatre, the snow leopard is more than a hunter. It is the pulse of the peaks, the thread that binds an entire world together. Tracking the elusive snow leopard is a formidable challenge. In a landscape defined by jagged cliffs, deep ravines, and shifting weather, direct observation is nearly impossible. Instead, scientists turn to technology, deploying a silent army of camera traps and environmental sensors to bridge the gap between human curiosity and the secretive world of the ghost cat. Camera traps, camouflaged against lichen-stained rocks and rugged outcrops, are the primary eyes in this wilderness. These motion-triggered devices capture fleeting moments. A snow leopard pausing in moonlight, a cautious step along a wind-scoured ridge. But the mountains are harsh custodians. Freezing temperatures drain batteries in days while snowstorms bury equipment for months. Curious marmots, passing ibex, and even the leopards themselves disturb or dislodge the traps, forcing researchers to carefully plan and frequently recalibrate their placements. Environmental sensors add another layer of insight, recording temperature, humidity, and altitude. These data streams reveal patterns in snow leopard movement, how they follow the melting snowline or seek shelter from biting winds. Yet the sensors face their own trials. Drifting snow obscures solar panels, and high winds snap delicate wires. Collecting data from these isolated outposts often means braving treacherous terrain, sometimes only accessible for a few weeks each year. The true challenge emerges in the digital realm. Every camera trap can capture thousands of images in a single season, most showing only empty landscapes or common wildlife. Sifting through this avalanche of data requires advanced algorithms, artificial intelligence trained to recognize the unique rosette patterns of individual snow leopards, distinguishing them from foxes, wolves, or shadows cast by clouds. Even with machine learning, false triggers and misidentifications are common, demanding rigorous cross-checks and validation by seasoned analysts. Despite these hurdles, each confirmed sighting weaves a new thread into the tapestry of knowledge. Camera trap grids reveal home ranges and travel corridors, while sensor data uncovers how snow leopards respond to shifting seasons and encroaching threats. Together, these technologies illuminate patterns invisible to the naked eye, guiding conservation efforts with precision. Yet, the quest is never complete. Equipment must evolve to withstand the mountain's wrath. Algorithms adapt, learning from every error. The snow leopard remains a master of evasion, but with each technological advance, the shadows grow a little less opaque. In this relentless pursuit, the greatest challenge is not only to track the ghost of the mountains, but to do so with respect for the fragile world it calls home. High in the crags where the wind whispers secrets, a snow leopard mother chooses her den, a hollow beneath a boulder shielded from biting gusts and prying eyes. Here, among the shadows and stones, her cubs are born, blind and utterly dependent. Their fur, thick and smoky grey, offers camouflage even in infancy, blending them seamlessly into the rocky cradle of their first home. For the first weeks, the cubs' world is a cocoon of warmth and scent. Their mother rarely leaves, venturing out only to hunt, returning with the spoils of her silent pursuit. The cubs, their eyes opening to dim light, begin to crawl, paws splaying awkwardly on uneven ground. They wrestle and tumble, honing balance and coordination with every playful swipe, a rehearsal for the life that awaits beyond the den. As the weeks turn, the den grows restless. The mother, patient yet vigilant, ushers her cubs outside for the first time. The world is vast and cold, but curiosity triumphs over fear. The cubs sniff at the wind, bat at drifting snowflakes, and test their footing on precarious ledges. Every misstep is a lesson, every leap, a gamble that sharpens instinct and muscle alike. Learning is a silent dialogue. The cubs watch their mother, mimicking her cautious tread and stillness at the scent of prey. They practice stalking, flattening their bodies against the ground, eyes fixed on the twitch of a marmot's tail in the distance. Failure is frequent, but each attempt refines their skills. The rocky labyrinth becomes their classroom, climbing, hiding, ambushing, each skill vital for survival. Danger is constant. Golden eagles soar above, and wolves prowl the slopes. The cubs learn to freeze at shadows, to vanish at the flicker of movement. Hunger, too, is a persistent teacher. As their mother ranges farther in search of food, the cubs endure long waits, their patience and resilience forged by necessity. By their first winter, only the strongest survive. Those who do emerge leaner, wiser, and more attuned to the rhythms of the wild. Siblings part ways, driven by instinct to seek their own territories. The lessons of the den, stealth, agility, caution, become the foundation of their solitary lives. In the heart of the mountains, the saga of the snow leopard continues, renewed with each generation. The cubs, once hidden and helpless, grow into the next ghosts of the peaks, their stories etched in snow and stone, witnessed only by the mountains themselves.